So Britain, which of course is in the middle of kind of like an economic crisis, they're saying they don't have the money for anything, are installing anti-sex toilets in their public restrooms. So if the anti-sex toilet detects you having sex in the public restroom, it sounds an alarm and sprays you with water.
And also
You know
opens the
what?
doors.
Yeah.
I actually looked at this article, and it makes me wonder. I didn't read it in its entirety, but it makes me wonder. Let's say you have someone who's like seriously obese, like 300 pounds, and he's sitting on the toilet and he has Parkinson's disease causing him to shake. Those are the things that kind of trigger the sensors and spray people and say, "Okay, time to get out." So, what if something like that happens? How do they differentiate it?
I will
I had to.
literally subscribe and pay a subscription fee to the channel that catches that on video and puts it on. Some poor guy
Well,
with Parkinson's going into a public toilet and coming out soaked to the bone with an alarm blaring because he sat on the toilet.
well, okay. I have. It's not about sex. This idea of, oh, we're trying to prevent people from fucking in the public restrooms, that's bullshit. This is about homelessness. It even says in the article here. Let me zoom in. It says in the article, the planning documents detail a range of security features to deter rough sleeping, including an audible warning combined with the lights and the heating being switched off. Rough sleeping is a euphemism for homeless. So they don't want the homeless to sleep in these public restrooms. And so they're putting weight sensors and shit like that to make it to where if someone tries to sleep in the restroom, that the alarms are going to go off, they're going to get sprayed with water, because that's what homeless people do. They sleep in the public restrooms. In fact,
Yep.
if you watch that Will Smith movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, that's what he did. He went into a restroom, locked the door, and basically slept in it with his son while people were banging on the door because he was homeless and he didn't want to sleep outside. So they find a public restroom, they go in there, they lock the door, and they take a nap on the floor. And
Yes.
that's also now why are they? What's all this shit about anti-sex? It's because if they said this is to keep homeless people from sleeping in the bathrooms, then like, oh, you hate poor people, you're anti-homeless. Where's your compassion? And this is the people who say that never have to actually like work around the home. Like the homeless situation is terrible, and it makes businesses go bankrupt. The city loses money, but the dipshits who don't even have to deal with the situation, they're like everybody's very generous with other people's money. So when it's your business being affected by homeless people shitting in front of your business and sleeping outside your business, and nobody wants to walk into your business because of all the shit and homeless people everywhere, and you go bankrupt, no one cares. So
And
when
you
you
know
tell
what?
when you tell the government do something about these homeless people, and they put in like like with the birds where they put the needles on the roof to keep the birds from building nests up there. Like when you put shit on the seat like tax or something like that, so that the homeless people can't sleep there. Then everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, they're being so uncompassionate towards the homeless." It's like, well, they go let them sleep in your house because they're sleeping in front of my business, and you don't give a shit. So
Yeah.
this is Shogun. Let me finish. So this anti-sex toilet shit is just a smokescreen. This is about the homeless problem. They're trying to figure out a way to address the homeless problem without directly calling it addressing the homeless problem by saying, "Oh, we're trying to prevent people from fucking or being raped." So if someone says, "Oh, you're hurting the homeless," like, no, 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 this is about sexual assault. We're trying to prevent people from being assaulted while they're pooping. It's not about the homeless people, and that's all this is about. So I'm done now. Shogun, you can say your thing now.
Okay, so one big problem that they have, they have this problem in Seattle because what they do is that they'll go into porta potties under the bridges, and because they used to have public restrooms all over the place over there. But I came back once, and now they're all locked up because not only are they sleeping there, they're also doing drugs in there as well. The drug problem is definitely getting out of hand over there, and it's insane. And also, do they still have those public urinals in California where it's just one big open space where anyone can just piss?
Not. I mean, it's a big state, so not everywhere.
Okay, well, I know it was in San Francisco or
Yes.
something like that,
Well,
LA. I
San
don't remember.
Francisco. San Francisco allows public nudity, and you could shit in the street in San Francisco. So
It's not even against the law.
yeah, it's not even against the law.
Yeah, it's just one big toilet now, as the whaler just said.
Man,
Yeah.
Shogun, the constant movement and the door closing makes me worry for you at where you're talking.
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh, but I'll add to that the whole bathroom thing. Yeah, I think TFM's right. This whole thing just a cover against homelessness. China has their own system. They either one, in the bathroom where they have people charge you to use it. They don't give a crap. About the feeling. They will not let anyone go in for free. Or those free ones, they're just so disgusting, so filthy and unmaintained that even homeless people wouldn't want to be in there. You cannot stay there for more than a few minutes at most before the
Right.
smell just dries you out completely.
So I have a solution because we're all about solutions. So you build these public restrooms. You have an underground like power generator, and you put the restroom on top of it, and the floor drops off after like if there's no movement, the floor drops off, and everything that isn't nailed down rolls into the incinerator. So you just like if you now you can throw trash in there, it's whatever, it'll just roll into the incinerator. But if someone's sleeping in the bathroom, like you take a shit, like there's gonna be like a 30-minute grace period. Like take a shit, do whatever you got to do, but no one takes a 45-minute shit. So if there's no movement, if everyone's just still for over 30 minutes, the floor just drops and everything gets rolled into an incinerator. And that's how we solve the
Well,
homeless problem.
unless you're one of those guys that's taking a dump and you have your laptop on you and you're working and you kind of lose track of time. That happens to me sometimes.
In,
Well,
in a in a
they gotta
public
have a
restroom,
warning.
in a public
Well, they
restroom.
gotta.
I
Well,
mean,
I support that as long as they have a decent warning system along first before they just suddenly roll everything.
No,
it
you
happens
put
to me at work.
put a sign like don't make it a surprise. Like do not use this restroom for more than 30 minutes. And then like you can even have like a stick figure. Like you know how you have the hands underneath the hand dryer? You can have like a little stick figure falling into fire and saying do not use
And
Oh,
longer
I
than 30 minutes.
oh I
and
can imagine
TFM
that.
straight up said TFM said if there's no movement. So Shogun, I'm sure if you're bringing your laptop into the bathroom, which I find incredibly disturbing,
A
but
public
if
bathroom.
you're I mean, you do realize like shit spray comes out of the toilet, like that's getting on your keyboard, but that's not. I'm sure the reason you're bringing in the laptop creates quite a bit of movement, so you wouldn't have to worry about being dropped in the incinerator.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I
it's
actually
people
put it.
sleeping.
I actually put it in the backpack first, and then as I'm getting back up, I do my business and get out. That's what.
All right. Well, I mean, you're streaming from a lunchroom, so I guess it makes sense that you would bring your laptop into a public restroom.
Well, I
And
told
we
you I'm
learn
not in the
another.
lunch. I
And
told you
we
I'm not in the
learn.
lunchroom because it's super echoey in there, very loud. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
in a different space.
Yep, and we learn another one Shogun's eccentric
Well, so
qualities
so
today.
the key is what you do is the toilet and everything is basically mounted to the wall with like steel. The sink, everything is like hard bolted, so that when the floor drops out, like the whole bathroom is fine. Like it's all bolted to the floor, bolted to the wall. But then everything that's loose goes tumbling away down the incinerator. So it won't just solve the homeless problem. If they're doing drugs in there, all their needles and all their paraphernalia will also go into the incinerator. And you can even like afterwards, like you can have like they already have the sprinkler system there, so you just turn up the pressure and you basically hose the bathroom down, and you let gravity work its magic. So it's like a car wash, It's like, and then you can even like spray some air freshener afterwards.
Well, when like spraying a lot of water, like, and then having it like drip into the incinerator would be kind of bad.
Well, you have okay. So what you do, you roll into the incinerator. There's a cage, and then you roll the other way into the fire. But there's like a cage there where the water can safely pass through, but the holes are too small for a human being to pass through.
Oh, okay.
So the water will splash off through this cage while you roll into the fire, and then problem solved. And then of
Well,
course,
That's
like,
also
right.
and once the floor raises, if the guy's like holding on to the cage, then like a wall pushes him down, like in a trash compactor, or like an Indiana Jones style trap. And you can even play like epic music, like an Indiana Jones thing, like where the music gets louder and scarier as the wall comes at you.
And
Well,
not to
also,
mention,
the homeless person will be like covered in water, so they might get like a few more seconds to say their last words as they're being incinerated.
You could even have like like the puppet from Saw. You could have like a TV on, like waterproof, of course, and you say you could have like a video of like last rites, like have different denominations, like all these TVs come on, and all these like holy men are giving them last rites as the wall is coming towards them to push them into the fire. It gives them a moment to make peace with whatever god they worship before they get, and then you can use the energy from burning the corpses of these homeless people to power like the lights in the neighboring community. So
Well, you were getting there.
You're creating safe, renewable energy. And like our last thing, we talk about how human activity is the cause of global warming. You're actually making a difference. You're eliminating human beings from creating all that CO2 that they do. So there's literally no one loses in this scenario. I can't think of a single person that would object to this.
I thought you were
Yeah,
getting
no.
to where I was getting to, where you can then use the carbon-based ashes and turn them into recyclable drinking straws.
All right, or you could turn them into diamonds. You can compress the carbon in their ashes.
Yep, we're show all about solutions here. You know what? I just saw something. I can think of where this may be first implemented and well received from the Scandinavian areas. People with Viking descendants want to honor the tradition. Free Viking funerals right here.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I don't think throwing someone in an incinerator counts as a Viking funeral.
Well, they'll
wrong.
package them up. They'll package them up nice and easy within the what was it? A kind of paper or wooden coffin first,
Maybe.
and then they just leave it in those bathrooms.
Right. I mean,
Anyway,
there's no downside.
We should start the commercial break now.
Okay.
Hey, I got a quick PSA for you degenerates. Come to BitChute where us MGTOW men can speak freely. All your favorite content creators are already there on BitChute. It only take a couple minutes to sign up. Come on, man, you ain't doing shit else. You ain't doing nothing but jacking off. Cause I know you're tired of those horse twats at YouTube censoring everybody. Subscribe now on BitChute, the Rare Breed Theory. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. What's up, MGTOW family? Yeah, it's me, Rare Breed again. Hope you're not getting tired of me yet. Do you need another MGTOW channel to listen to? Besides this monkey face, doll sexing, pantsless, turd flinging motherfucker you listening to right now? Well, guess what? You in luck. Come subscribe now to the Rare Breed Theory. I want to elevate your mind, man, and guide you through this thought nation we're living in. When you get tuned into the Rare Breed Theory, you never call another MGTOW content creator your favorite again. Except for Monkey, of course. Yeah, we love you, Monkey. Subscribe now on BitChute.
I have an important message for you. For the guys who dream about early retirement and packing their bags for a one-way trip to Asia and say bye-bye to #MeToo, feminism, entitled Women Riding the Cock Carousel, author and MGTOW Luca Venditti has written a book about how to achieve early financial independence and leave the West. He managed to retire on $200K in Asia and is happy to share how he did it. His book will cover in detail the high yield deposit accounts available and how to capitalize on them for a guaranteed monthly passive income that grows with inflation, an extremely detailed budget breakdown, and much more. The book is called MGTOW's Guide to Retiring on $200K in Southeast Asia. And you can purchase it on MGTOWbooks.com and use the promo code
DFM
for an extra 10% off.
now in 4 formats: PDF, Mobi for Kindle, EPUB, and text-to-speech MP3.
War. War never changes. In the current year, women have declared war on men. Men are not only guilty until proven innocent, but they are not even allowed to prove their innocence. In response to this warfare waged by women, known as feminism, men have sought refuge with waifus, artificial women able to satisfy a man's need for love and sex. Retailers like the Dollhouse began to spread, bringing waifus to men everywhere, freeing them from the enslavement of feminism. Get your waifu today from thedollhouse.com or dc.dollhouse.com if you're in the United States, before they're banned by feminism so they can control men once more. Go to thedollhouse.com and dcdollhouse.com to find your waifu today, before it's too late.
13 Rules to Not Be a Fucking Cuck is my latest book, and my greatest book. My previous works have been mostly comedy, satire, parody. This is a book I didn't just do for the lulz and because it was funny, but actually because I think it will make a difference and will help people. We live in a world with a lot of different competing ideologies, individuals, organizations, everything you could think of, trying to subvert your life for its purpose. Everybody has a plan for your life and they don't care what yours is. But if you don't stand up for your life, about what you want to do with your life, somebody else is going to make that decision for you. So don't be a cuck. Check out 13 Rules to Not Be a Fucking Cuck on Amazon and Amazon Kindle. Links in the description.